Today I'm building an automatic food farm with Create Mod. This should give us bacon sandwiches, mutton wraps and hamburgers that I can later use in my dino theme park. So guys, I did it. We dug out the hole. And we are gonna need this if we want to have a farm here that produces all the food and also dispense it in our little prize cabinet. What I think first thing we need to do is probably get the farm set up for the plants. Then I want to have the round version of that farm because that one keeps breaking. I want to have 3 of those because we're gonna have 3 types of sandwiches. Well, we need onions and we need lettuce and we need tomatoes. So we have onions here in our storage. We need to have wheat seeds, of course, and we need cabbage seeds and tomato seeds. Then while at it, I should probably grab myself some wood. And what we need to do is we need to make a lot of andesite casings and a lot of harvesters. Oh, we even still had one here in the storage system. It seems we're out of andesite, so let's first grab some of that. Okay, so let's first start by making a lot of andesite alloys. And while that's running, I also want to see if we can make the mechanical bearing, the slab, andesite casing shaft. I think we can already make that. Flip. Okay, mechanical bearing. There we go. Okay, let's make those andesite casings. Okay, you're cute. You're almost dead. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put you in there. Okay, so we also need a lot more mechanical harvesters, which means I need 5 per row. So I did change up my mind. I want to have 2 for wheat and then the 3 vegetables separate. So that means I need to have 25 harvesters. And we need to connect them all with andesite casings, which I don't know if are gonna be enough. The only thing I need now is a little bit more dirt. Now, because of the digging of the hole over there, I should have more than enough dirt there. And I need to make a hoe if I don't have one. I do have an iron hoe. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have plenty of dirt over here. I do need to get myself a bucket of water, but that's for later. I guess let's roll the time lapse and let's build this thing. So guys, I've built it all. We'll go in free cam so I can show you guys. We have onions, we have cabbage, we have a tomato, and we have 3 layers of wheat. And as you can see, I did add some more water because I kept having a row where I didn't have anything. But this is basically all the vegetables and the greeneries that we need. Before I'm gonna connect this to the next part of the system, I first want to get the meat section done before we continue. And I do have to say I did change some things up. I only have 1 chest here that combines everything. And that seems to work, so I'm just gonna leave that. And we're just gonna let this fill while we build up the rest. Okay guys, what we now need to do is we need to make a place where we're gonna put our animals. And as you can see, I've been working on stream on the roads behind me, but this thing is already overflowing. So that's very good. That means once we get the meat section running, we can make instant sandwiches. So let's see if I can make a holding cell. Now guys, this looks way more devious than it is, but I do need to get all of them in for here the cows and to make sure they don't fall into the sheep pen. I do want to keep this closed for a little bit, so I'm gonna grab a wheat there and then we're gonna grab a cow and put it in there. I forgot we have the pickup mod. That's 1 piggy. There we go. Now let's install these deployers over here. So I filled all them up with their respective foods. But the way this works is with entity cramming. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna temporarily let this thing like flow through while we build the rest of it. And it actually means we need to make like a chopping station. But before we can do the chopping station, we also need to filter out everything that isn't meat. And with that, I mean the leather of the cows and the wool of the sheep. And for that, we need some of these brass funnels. So what we then also need to make is we need to make 3 of these smart chutes. So that prevents it from still having other items pulled through downwards, and this is where we're gonna have that it's gonna filter out the meat in. Gonna need more redstone, and there are our 3 smart chutes. Then we need to make more smart chutes so what we chop will not fall through, and we can put the chopping board on top of the smart chutes. That also means we need to make diamonds, and we need to make 3 new deployers. So I'm quickly gonna grab that, and then I will show you guys how that looks. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place underneath this, and then we're gonna make it when this is chopped that only these go in. And we will put a knife on there. And we're gonna repeat that and then put in the deployers. Okay, so I've now been putting in the station. You can see I also put the knives in here. That means it will never pick up meat if it falls down there, which is more like a precaution. While we were building this, you can see that the chunks have been rendered in because I have a lot more cows and sheep and pigs than I used to have. I think I'm gonna break down the temporary breeding system that we made, and I am just gonna put in the power immediately, because after this it's just gonna fall onto basically the cooking station, and once it's done from there it's going onto the belt. And from there I think I will meet back with you guys. So guys, this is how the system now works. So entity cramming, they basically die. They fall on here, this grabs the knife, chops it down into smaller pieces, cooks it. The reason why I did do these still the other way around is because currently I don't have the cooked versions of that, so I still need to put them in, but I also don't want things to just fall through. So I've now put these up. I will put this down so it works again. Yeah, then it will get cooked, it will fall in here, and it will go over the belts on there. The reason why there is a chest there is because in case I do get a lot of meat and we can't keep up, it will just store in there instead of that it's gonna lay and rot down here. So it will just store it. That is probably the best idea. But yeah, here it's gonna go into an auto crafter that's gonna give us 3 types of sandwiches. But for that auto crafter, we also need to get all of this in there. So that is what we're gonna focus on next, to make sure that our bread basically gets cooked. We're gonna make a bread line, and then we're gonna make a filter so we get the right vegetables into the right slot. So let's start with the bread cooker. Okay guys, so we're back in FreeCam, so I can show you the process. We're gonna have it go directly from here over a belt this way. It's gonna filter out the wheat in this one. Then it's gonna turn, it can either turn it into wheat seeds, which will be here disposed in the fire, or it will go on top of here where it will get washed. Then it goes over here, there it gets cooked, it gets turned into bread, and then it goes into here, and then it will stay in the chest before it goes into the simulator. But yeah, we're now at the point where I made a mistake in my schematic because they're not adding up, which is stupid because they were already connected. I also turned these off because these are full. You can see here 2 raw pork chops in there. The other ones need to go just a little bit more. But yeah, this thing is already overflowing, so I do need to see how I'm gonna do that with all the stuff that I already have. What I think I might do, just to make it a little bit easier for myself and not to lose all the items there, I think I might already set up the system that we're gonna use to autocraft everything, and then I can just hook up the belts on there, and then later on I can make the sorting system. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna roll off now in a time lapse because that's way easier, and then I will see you guys once this farm is finished. So guys, as you can see, I have finished the farm. Let me quickly land. I got this thing from my secret Santa after I finished the build. And as you can see, it's running. It's putting the meat in. And then over here, you can see it all gets assembled into these 3 types of food. We have hamburgers over here. We have mutton wraps over here, and we have bacon sandwiches over here. The way I made the system is it's gonna collect it all up here. Here it's also filled with andesite, but it can't go out. So it will only let out the tomatoes. That means once this is full with a stack of tomatoes, it will go into this last one, which is basically where it's waiting for here now. Currently, I also turned off the sheep and cow farm because we have more than enough. The pigs is still going because I still have some food in there. But yeah, this all seems to work pretty well. There are some adjustments that I've made. I first wanted to do this steam powered, but apparently this is too far away from the water, so I've just used 3 water wheels. Works perfectly. And yeah, I think that is it. I think we made our 3 types of sandwiches. But yeah, as you guys could see, I now have a giant hole where my theme park is gonna go. So I do need to fix that. But we're not gonna do that this episode because that is gonna be a giant project. So how about we do that for the next? Oh, and with that, I'm wishing you all a very good day, a very fine evening, or whatever it is where you are. And I hope to see you guys next time. Love you, bye!